Have you ever stopped to think about the power that numbers can exert over your life? It's not just superstition, but a deep connection between the universe and the energies that surround us. On November 27th, 2024, certain numbers will emerge with an unusual force, and if you know how to interpret them, you can transform your life in surprising ways. These numbers do not appear by chance. They bring with them valuable spiritual messages, like a mystical guide for your personal and spiritual growth. But what makes these numbers so special? Why? On this specific day, will you be drawn to them? The secret lies not only in numerology, but also in Buddhist teachings that illuminate the path of spiritual transformation, abundance, and prosperity. In this video, you will discover which numbers these are and how they can impact your journey, guiding you to new beginnings, more harmony, and a deeper connection with your life purpose. Now, get ready to be amazed by the wisdom these numbers have to offer. They are ready to become an intense part of your life. If you are ready for the change, keep reading and prepare for a transformative journey. There are moments in life when we come across subtle signs, coincidences that seem to speak directly to us. Perhaps you have already noticed numbers that appear repeatedly, as if they wanted to whisper something important to your heart. Know that these numbers are not mere coincidence. They carry deep energies, hidden spiritual meanings, and if we are willing to listen, they can guide us to a life of abundance and transformation. Imagine that each number is a key ready to unlock doors that have long remained closed. And what if they told you that these doors hide secrets about the balance between material and spiritual prosperity? That by learning to read these signs, you could align yourself with a greater purpose, capable of transforming your reality? It seems intriguing, doesn't it? For that is exactly the purpose of this journey. Let's start by unraveling the first mystery, the number 19, a number that invites you to leave behind what no longer serves, calling for a new beginning filled with wisdom and possibilities. If you are ready to open this first door, let the energy of the number 19 guide you. The number 19 is a powerful invitation to leave behind everything that no longer serves and embrace a new phase of life. It is the fusion of the number 1, which represents leadership and new beginnings, with the number 9, a symbol of universal wisdom. Imagine yourself cleaning out an old drawer full of items you haven't used in years. This is exactly what the number 19 suggests for your spiritual journey. The process of renewal begins with the courage to let go. Here, intuition and courage are key words, for only then can one move towards a higher purpose where spiritual transformation happens naturally. Those who follow Buddhist teachings know that life is a constant cycle of rebirth. In this sense, the number 19 carries a similar teaching. It is necessary to die to old beliefs in order to be reborn in a wiser version aligned with inner truth. It's like a tree that, every winter, sheds its leaves to bloom again in the spring. And so, the 19 becomes a symbol of renewed abundance, where old fears are overcome and new opportunities are received with gratitude. This number reminds us that prosperity is achieved when we embrace change, trusting that something greater guides us. A practical tip to harness the energy of the number 19 is to practice visualizing a new beginning. Imagine that your life is going through a phase of cleansing and renewal. It can be something simple like rearranging your workspace or redefining personal goals. Do you want a concrete example of how to apply this renewal? Consider finances. The number 19 can also symbolize new beginnings in the material realm, making it a suitable time to review how you handle money. Maybe it's time to create a budget more aligned with your values, or even start a small emergency fund. These adjustments, no matter how small they may seem, can generate a sense of control and security, creating space for abundance to flow more harmoniously. Intuition and planning go hand in hand here. The number 19 is also strongly connected to the idea of serving others. If the number 1 represents individual leadership, the 9 suggests wisdom that expands to the collective. Therefore, a powerful way to embrace this energy is to engage in activities that benefit other people. It can be something simple, like dedicating your time to a cause you believe in or sharing the knowledge you possess. This brings not only a sense of purpose, but also the kind of abundance that goes beyond the material, touching the spiritual meaning of life. Finally, the number 19 is a constant reminder that we are always on our way to something greater. The challenges that arise are, in fact, disguised opportunities to align with the purpose of life. Think of the example of someone who finally decides to follow a long-delayed dream, whether it's changing careers, learning something new, or starting a personal project. It takes courage to start anew, but it is this renewal that generates prosperity and abundance, giving meaning to life. And by embracing the spirit of change, a new cycle is just beginning, as we will see in the next issue, which also calls us to a balance in life. The number 26 arrives as a reminder that balance is the key to a prosperous life. It unites the energy of the number 2, which represents cooperation and harmony, with that of the number 6, which resonates with material and familial aspects. The message here is clear. True prosperity is born when we find the balance between the inner and outer worlds. Think of a scale that always needs to be balanced. In finance, for example, this balance arises when treating money with wisdom and respect without letting it dominate your life. It is an ancient lesson from Buddhist teachings, where detachment also means not being a slave to material things. The 26 also reinforces the importance of human relationships. Imagine a tree that flourishes more when surrounded by others, as they all share nutrients. So too are we, social beings who depend on strong and positive bonds to grow. This number suggests investing in healthy relationships, building bridges of trust and collaboration, be it in friendships, family, or even in business. The secret lies in nurturing what connects us. Intuition is the compass that guides us to these true connections, and by following it, prosperity becomes a natural reflection of this balance. A practical example of the energy of the number 26 is creating a financial plan that respects both the present and the future. It can be something simple, like setting aside a portion of your income for savings while investing in experiences that bring joy and growth. Spiritual wisdom does not reject the material, but teaches how to use it with awareness. A concrete step is to review unnecessary expenses and redirect those resources to something that brings long-term satisfaction, such as education or trips that enrich the soul. In this way, you become the master of your own abundance. It's no coincidence that the number 26 is also associated with responsibility. Being responsible with finances, commitments, and, above all, with your own emotions, is essential for maintaining balance. In this sense, Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of self-control and moderation. A practical exercise is to analyze your routine weekly, identifying where there may be excesses or deficiencies, and making subtle adjustments. Sometimes it's necessary to cut back on excess activities and focus on what really matters, seeking a simpler and more meaningful life. In spiritual practice, the number 26 points to the importance of generosity. This does not mean giving what you cannot, but rather sharing when there is abundance, promoting harmony. Generosity, when done with balance. The challenge of number 26 is to avoid the trap of excessive material attachment. Many fall into the temptation of accumulating possessions, thinking that it will bring happiness, but they end up feeling emptier. It is at this point that spiritual teachings remind us of the true source of abundance, contentment with what we have. Being grateful is an essential step to creating a balanced life. Gratitude generates a positive cycle where prosperity flows naturally without the pressure of accumulation. It can be helpful to create the habit of listing 3 things you are grateful for every night, reinforcing that feeling of satisfaction. By embracing the meaning of the number 26, the feeling is of building a solid life where every aspect, material, emotional, and spiritual, works in harmony. Imagine someone who, by organizing their finances, also improves their relationships, finds more time for themselves, and discovers an inner peace that once seemed unattainable. This is the power of balance, allowing all areas of life to flourish at the same time. And by creating this state of harmony, we are already preparing ourselves to explore the opportunities that arise when we unleash creativity and personal expression, themes that the next issue will bring to light. The number 32 is a harmonious dance between personal expression and collaboration. The energy of the 3 brings creativity, the joy of living, and communication, while the 2 adds the touch of cooperation and balance. Imagine a team of musicians where each one has their unique part, but they all play the same melody. This is the spirit of the number 32. Prosperity is more complete when we join forces and find pleasure in working together. The lesson here is simple. We grow more and faster when we embrace the power of partnerships, especially those that resonate with our intuition. To better understand the number 32, think of moments in your life where collaboration made a difference. Maybe a work project that flowed better when you asked for help, or a creative idea that came to life when shared. This issue invites us to abandon pride and accept that cooperation can bring richer solutions. Buddhist teachings speak about the Sangha, the community of practitioners, and how unity strengthens the spiritual path. The message is clear. Whether in spiritual growth or in the pursuit of abundance, trusting others is fundamental. A practical example of the number 32 is finding ways to express your creativity together with other people. It could be an artistic activity, such as starting a book club, painting in a group, or perhaps participating in a discussion circle on spiritual topics. When ideas are shared, each mind is a source of inspiration, bringing new perspectives. It's like cultivating a garden together, where each person brings their own seed for collective growth. Good ideas flourish when they find fertile ground in the realm of teamwork. The challenge of number 32 is to learn to communicate clearly and truthfully. For cooperation to work, it is necessary for each person to express their own truth without fear of judgment. Intuition is a powerful ally here, indicating when it's time to speak and when it's time to listen. An interesting exercise is to practice assertive communication, avoiding assumptions, and expressing your desires in a direct and respectful manner. In relationships, whether personal or professional, this transparency creates a solid foundation for any partnership. The number 32 also speaks about finding the balance between professional and personal life, leaving space for creative expression. Often, we set aside our hobbies and passions because of the routine, but this number reminds us of the importance of keeping the flame of enthusiasm alive. Prosperity is not just material, but also emotional. A practical example is setting aside a week. By living in accordance with the number 32, you become part of something greater, a collective flow that brings prosperity to everyone involved. It's like a choir where each voice, when united, creates something much grander than it could alone. This brings us to the next issue, where we will explore the concept of wholeness and spiritual growth, a theme that further deepens our journey of transformation. The number 10 is the synthesis of completeness and growth, the strength of the one, which symbolizes new beginnings, combines with the energy of the 0, which represents infinite potential. This number suggests that each ending is, in fact, a new beginning, a constant cycle of learning and evolution. Imagine the wheel of life turning, where each complete turn takes us to a higher level of spiritual understanding. It is an invitation to embrace change without fear, trusting that every new beginning brings with it the opportunity for something greater and more aligned with your purpose. When the number 10 appears in your life, it is a reminder that there is always more to explore. The spiritual journey is not linear, but cyclical, and each stage brings new challenges and rewards. In Buddhist teachings, there is a similar concept in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, a continuous flow that guides us towards enlightenment. This number invites us to embrace growth, even if it requires leaving behind what no longer serves us. The challenge is to trust the process, knowing that each small achievement is part of something greater. A practical example of the energy of the number 10 is the creation of personal goals that are aligned with your deepest values. It could be the decision to start a new course, invest in knowledge, or adopt spiritual practices that promote self-awareness, such as daily meditation. These small steps are the new beginnings that, when added together, lead to great transformations. Starting to meditate, for example, can be as simple as setting aside 5 minutes in the morning to quiet the mind and observe thoughts. It is in those moments of quietude that the most valuable intuitions arise. Intuition is a recurring theme in the number 10, as it is the energy that guides spiritual growth. Often, we ignore the inner voice out of fear or insecurity, but this number reminds us that true power lies in self-confidence. Following your intuition is like walking in a dark forest with a flashlight. You may not see the entire path, but you can see the next steps. The challenge is to trust that the light of the lantern will lead you to the right destination, even if the scenery seems uncertain. This is the secret to turning uncertainty into opportunity. The number 10 also speaks about financial cycles. Money, like life, has its ups and downs, and true growth lies in learning to navigate these cycles. A concrete example is to create a financial strategy that includes periods of saving and investing, knowing that moments of contraction are part of the path to abundance. In periods of growth, invest wisely, and in periods of decline, practice patience. Prosperity, just like spirituality, is about knowing the right moment to act and the right moment to wait. When we talk about personal growth, the number 10 also reminds us of the importance of self-care. Completeness does not mean being constantly productive, but rather knowing how to balance doing with being. Set aside moments to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, whether through a walk in nature, a hobby you love, or simply a pause to appreciate the present. This practice of self-care generates renewed energy to move forward with greater clarity. It's the idea that by taking care of yourself, you create a solid foundation for all the new beginnings that will come. The number 10 marks a moment of celebration for everything that has been achieved so far, while keeping an eye open for what is yet to come. It's about recognizing the journey so far and preparing for the next phase, knowing that the cycle of life continues. This feeling of completeness leads us to the next number, where the focus is on personal transformation. A crucial theme for those. Often, the number 16 appears in moments of personal crisis, indicating that it is time for a radical change. The transformation is not always smooth. Sometimes it requires sacrifices and renunciations. But like a gardener who prunes trees so they grow stronger, the number 16 asks for the courage to cut away what is dead or worn out. This may mean leaving a job that doesn't satisfy you, ending a toxic relationship, or simply abandoning habits that hold you back. Intuition will be your guide, indicating what needs to stay and what needs to go. In a practical context, the energy of the number 16 suggests doing an honest analysis of your current life and identifying areas that need change. It may be helpful to create a list of beliefs or behaviors that no longer serve your purpose. For example, if you have the habit of procrastinating, try replacing it with an organizational practice, such as using a daily planner. This is the ideal time to implement small changes that can lead to a significant transformation in the long run. Remember, great transformations begin with small steps. The number 16 is also a call for emotional balance, essential for prosperity. True transformation begins within each individual, and this requires continuous work on emotions. A good practice is to invest in activities that promote inner harmony, such as meditation, reading inspiring books, or practicing yoga. The focus is on maintaining serenity even when the outside world seems chaotic. This inner peace is the foundation for making wise decisions and avoiding the cycle of self-sabotage that often accompanies periods of change. The transformative energy of 16 also touches the material aspect of life, encouraging the pursuit of a more solid foundation. If you feel that your finances need a readjustment, the number 16 suggests cutting unnecessary expenses and redirecting resources to investments that bring lasting returns. It might be the time to invest in knowledge, courses, or something that nourishes your creativity and spirit. The key is to use this phase of transformation to plant seeds of future abundance, without fear of trimming what is excessive. The journey of personal transformation for the number 16 is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. Just as a butterfly must break free from its cocoon to fly, each of us needs to go through the discomfort of change to reach a new stage of evolution. Intuition will be your faithful guide, showing the right paths and warning about the traps. The transformation can be silent and gradual, but when you least expect it, the results appear clearly and impactfully. It's about trusting that, even in moments of uncertainty, the universe conspires in favor of those who are willing to change. As we embrace the energy of the number 16 and face the necessary changes, we begin to feel the flow of a new life taking shape. It is the beginning of a lighter path, more aligned with our true essence. This feeling of renewal prepares us for the next issue, where introspection and the search for self-knowledge become central themes for spiritual growth and personal fulfillment. The number 7 is a profound, mystical, and spiritual number, inviting you to look within yourself and seek answers beyond the material world. It brings an energy of introspection, which often requires us to take time in solitude to reflect on our true intentions and the deeper meaning of our lives. In Buddhist teachings, self-knowledge is fundamental to enlightenment, and the number 7 resonates directly with this idea, suggesting that it is necessary to stop and listen to the wisdom that resides within each of us. When the 7 appears, it's as if the universe is saying, it's time to turn inward. This number is also a call to meditation, the practice of silencing the mind and connecting with the present moment is one of the most effective ways to access inner wisdom. If you haven't tried it yet, try setting aside a few minutes of your day for a simple meditation focused on your breath. At first, thoughts may be distractions, but over time, you will realize introspection, however, does not mean fleeing from problems or avoiding reality. On the contrary, the number 7 challenges us to confront internal and external issues with courage and discernment. If something in your life isn't working, it's a sign that you need to take a closer look, explore the underlying emotions, and delve into the deeper motivations. Ask yourself, why am I attracting certain situations? What can I learn from them? This type of questioning is the key to spiritual growth. By delving into your own being, you begin to understand the lessons that life has to offer. The number 7 also speaks about the connection with something greater than ourselves. It is an energy that reminds us that we are part of a whole, and that the pursuit of self-knowledge also involves understanding our role in the universe. This perception can be achieved through practices such as reading spiritual texts, studying the spiritual meaning of things, and, of course, connecting with nature. If you feel that you need something beyond your own intellect, seek knowledge in ancient traditions such as Buddhist teachings or esoteric texts that speak about the mystery of life and the universe. The energy of the number 7 is also linked to the development of intuition. When we stop to listen and feel, we can perceive that there is a silent wisdom within us, a gentle voice that guides us. Perhaps you have experienced a moment of strong intuition in your life where a decision seemed to be made almost automatically, but with an unwavering sense of certainty. This is the power of the number 7, which teaches us to trust our deepest perception. The more you develop this skill, the easier it will be to make choices that are aligned with your spiritual purpose. In terms of daily practices, the number 7 also suggests that we should create moments for personal reflection. Creating a self-discovery journal can be a powerful tool. Write about what you learned about yourself throughout the day, or about the signs you noticed along your path. These records become a personal map of evolution. When you look back, you can notice patterns and learn from them. The number 7 invites you to take this time to reflect and make adjustments as necessary, knowing that each new insight is a step on your path of growth. As you begin to connect more deeply with your inner self, the number 7 also prepares us for the next step in the spiritual journey. Inner growth is not something isolated. It is also reflected on the outside, in your relationships and in the opportunities that arise. This silent and gradual transformation prepares us to embrace the cycles of manifestation that will follow, when the focus will shift to uniting all the pieces of our life and working in collaboration with others to achieve our highest goals. The number 12 is powerful, representing the union of forces and the manifestation of greater goals. It emerges as an invitation to align all aspects of your life in order to bring forth the most significant achievements. In many spiritual teachings, the importance of creating harmony between the body, mind, and spirit is discussed. The number 12 reflects this concept, suggesting that by working together with others and aligning your intentions with the universe, you can manifest everything you desire. The energy of the number 12 strengthens your personal power, reminding you that you have the tools to turn your dreams into reality. This number also reminds us of the importance of working in collaboration with others. True manifestation often requires the support of a network of people, whether in professional, personal, or spiritual partnership. The number 12 is closely related to the idea of collectivity. Think of the great deeds of humanity. Often, great changes are made by groups united in a common mission. If you are seeking prosperity, for example, now that you have had the opportunity to learn about the numbers that can change your life on November 27th, 2024, the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? We know that simply knowing something does not bring transformation. What really matters is action. So, ask yourself, what are you going to do to align your life with the energies of these numbers? Are you ready to seize the opportunity for transformation that they offer? Now is the time to apply these Buddhist teachings, focus on your intuition, and start working with lucky numbers to manifest the abundance and prosperity you desire. What are you waiting for? Spiritual transformation doesn't happen just with thought, but with constant practice, don't miss the chance to take the next step towards a fuller and more balanced life. If you are ready to move forward and don't want to miss any more valuable insights like this one, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. Only then will you continue receiving content that will help boost your spiritual journey. Don't let the chance to change your life pass by. Remember, the universe is on your side, and now it's your turn to align with it.